That's my prediction anyway. Monday, September 27th, and well, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, got to welcome along everybody that's joining us on Facebook Live. Nice to have you guys back again today, believe me. If you're going to be joining us a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do, really. Sub, thumb, bell, bingo. Bell notifications when we have important people like this. And today we're making history because today is the first time we're interviewing somebody coming out of Italy. We're interviewing this man.
Hi, it's Chris Catena, and you're listening to Radio Galaxy 107 FM. Rock on.
That's fantastic. Yes, coming out of Italy is Chris Catena, or Catena, the man himself. And believe me, you're going to love this. We're going to kick it off with Angel City, right here at Galaxy. That gives us a couple of minutes to get to know each other. Nice to have you on board. I'm absolutely honoured to meet you, sir.
And can you hear?
Yeah, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, now yes, I can hear you.
Nice, nice. Well, it's an honour to meet you, sir.
Yeah, me too. It's a big honor. You guys are great. You know, as I told you before, I heard a couple of times your program because, of course, for me, I am in Italy, so the time zone is different. It is not easy, you know?
Exactly.
When I'm in my house, I have to do my usual... I have my tasks to do the day after, so I have to go to sleep.
Believe me, I fully understand. Yeah, I get that. At the same time, I was with Not Enough not so long ago when she put up a post on Facebook and it said, "Do you recognise your song here?" And you responded and said, "No, you didn't." And that's how this transpired. So I'm going to blame her. If everything goes wrong, blame her. Okay? It's her fault.
Yeah, thanks.
She is literally the voice in my head. She will be giving me bits of information, stats and stuff like that as we go through the interview. So believe me, if you see me making funny body gestures over this way, it's because she's been talking to me, you know what I mean? At the other stage, we have another studio just behind us. We've switched over from them. They're going to go and have a coffee and something to eat. And Barbara, do you remember Darth Vader from Star Wars?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that wandy sword thing he had? Well, this is Barbara, and this is what she's recording on, and you've got to be really quick to get out of her way.
Yeah.
She's very fast. She is.
I always dream to work in a radio station, you know. One day probably.
Well, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's something, it's a creative work.
Yes.
And I like always to be to deal with music at 360 degrees, you know.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, I've been doing it since university days, and that's a lot of years, but I'm also a studio and front of house engineer, so believe me, I kind of wanted to know, not only did I want to play the music, but I wanted to be a part of making it. I wanted to be a part of watching it perform. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
So, and believe me, bro, I have worked with some of the biggest bands in the world.
No, I can imagine. Yeah.
I have.
Do you play any instruments? Are you a musician?
Yes and no. I'm a legend in my own bedroom. I am. Let's go to the desk. And Chris, welcome to Galaxy.
Thank you so much.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we make history. We really, really do, because, well, I don't know whether he would see it this way. He might be even looking at it as he's the first victim coming out of Italy. Yes, Chris Catena is joining us, and it is an absolute pleasure to meet this artist. It really, really is. Comes from good stock, literally. His dad was an opera singer, and, well, he's growing up around the industry. Even has a wife as a pop star too, by the way. And today it's an absolute pleasure to be able to introduce him to our audiences around the world. Welcome to Galaxy, Chris.
Thank you so much.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you.
You guys.
Believe me, my friend, we're in absolute awe of your work here at Galaxy, and there's a lot of people around the world that have been asking us so many questions about you. They really, really have. So we kicked off the show with Angel City. Now, I think it would be only appropriate to say, tell us a little bit about this track. How did you come to the lyrics of this?
Yeah, Angel City is a song that I composed probably, in 2000, it was 2008, 2009, by the way. And because I told you right before the program started, at least this interview started, that it took me 10 years to do my last album, where Freight Train is not included. And this song is dedicated to LA, because LA is one of the towns that I used to visit more, during the winter, during the year, every year, before COVID, of course. There I have many friends. I met so many musicians, really important musicians, that I was lucky to welcome in my albums. And I was driving a car for rent, and I started to have this idea of the melody while, looking around on these streets with palm trees, and it was a sunny day, and I decided to try to fix the song, the melody of the song, especially the chorus. Na, 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 na. I don't know why I have this. I have the backing vocals before the chorus itself. So it was very strange. And I said, I have to do something with this. So I started from the backing vocals, and then I built the chorus and then the song.
But I got to be honest with you. We started this one literally because it's one of my more favourite songs. I absolutely love the work in it. I really do. Seamus is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Seamus. Also, Jay Gavin is joining us this morning, and Sean Simpson. Love you, Sean. We really, really do. Thank you for joining us this morning. Today, we're catching up with a good friend of ours, a new friend of ours. Yes, we're talking about Chris Catena coming out of Italy, and believe me, we make history today. First interview with an artist out of Italy, and we couldn't do better. A-lister, in fact. Now, Chris,
Yeah.
I have a fan question for you. As a fan, how do we get hold of you, Chris? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Or are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Chris, do you respond?
Well, now it's so easy to get in touch with people. It was me getting in touch with some big rock stars through Facebook or Instagram. So, you just, if you know how to write my name, then it's very easy to find me, because I think I have two artist profile. I mean, one private that I use without any problem for fans and anyone. And then an artist page, plus there is Instagram, and I think I'm even on Twitter. I don't know, but I think there will be no problem.
Yeah.
And even because I'm not a spoiled person, I'm a very easy person, and I love to deal with people who write me appreciations and compliments, but even who insults me, no problem, because anyone, we are in a free world, anyone can tell whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Got to welcome along Jörg Klein as well. Nice to have you on board, Jörg, coming out of Germany. Absolutely love your work, and love your mixing and your mastering. Love your label, everything like that, Jörg. And one of your proteges, Charisse de Souza, is joining us as well, coming out of Mumbai, India. Nice to have you on board again, Charisse. We love you. We really, really do. Now, my friend, at the same time, still a fool for you. Tell me about this track, because believe me, I find this fascinating.
Can you repeat the question?
Still a fool for you.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, tell me about
this. This is a song I'm really proud of, because it was written for me by Kim Marcello, the former guitar player from this famous Swedish band Europe. Do you remember? It's the final countdown. Yeah. So Kim Marcello is a big friend of mine, and one day I asked, I heard a song of yours in one of the demo of your next album, and it has the typical flavor, the typical style of Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy is a very famous Irish hard rock band, which I'm in love with. And I said, I would love to have a song like this. I don't know. I'm trying to write a song like this, but I can't. He said to me, wait for me. The week after, a week later, he came with this tune, with this number, and he said, that's for you. This is my gift to you. And I was so happy, because I really love the song, and it has these harmonics guitars in the chorus that reminds me Thin Lizzy, and of course with a different singer. That's me, of course, because Phil Lynott was an immense artist, but, well, in this case, you have me.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Chris. I've been an engineer, not only a studio engineer, but a front of house engineer as well for, almost 40 years now. And when I hear your work, I can't fault it. I really, really can't. I want to talk to you more about that as we go through it. But right now, here is Chris Catena, Rock City Tribe, still a fool for you on Galaxy. How you feeling, Chris?
Thanks. Yeah.
Now, Chris, at the same time, this COVID virus thing that's been going around the world right now, how is it affecting you where you are?
Well, think about it. I have three different, during the years, in order to avoid any kind of risk, because being in the music business, it's always tricky some ways, I started, of course, when I was a teenager. I started as a singer, before as a drummer, and then I understood that my path was could have been more. I could have had more possibilities as a singer. But then, since I have a management, I work in opera, and so I manage opera singers, conductors, and I work in this kind of world. I decided that probably I could have been having some kind of talents as a stage director, and I started to direct opera productions, and with big success. Then what happened? COVID came, so I said I have these three options: managing singers, doing productions, and as a director and sing. No one worked. So for 1 year and a half, I've been without any kind of work. I mean, I've been home.
Okay. I'll. Sorry, my device just dropped out a little bit there. Sorry. Now, Chris.
It affected widely.
Oh yes.
Because I've been home, but one thing I did, I discovered my old passion that was painting, and I started to paint canvas one after the other as if there was no tomorrow.
Yes.
So now I'm a painter.
Well, you know something, Nada was telling me that you were a painter. She does painting as well, yeah, and I'm fascinated with somebody's mind and the creations that they can come down with, not only on canvas, but look at this artist. This man is an exceptional artist in the music industry. He really is. Seamus Fitzsimmons is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Seamus. Tell you what, let's go back to the desk. The next one we have up is the Trickster.
Trickster.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I read the comment you have in the bio about that, and I think, just quietly, Chris, you're describing me.
No.
I think you are. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is an absolute pleasure to be going all the way over to Italy today to catch up with Chris Catena. And your guess, you're right, it affected us all everywhere in the world, all corners of the round globe. Now check that one out. Yeah, think of that as a flat earth thing. Yeah, I read a comment on Facebook the other day, you know, the flat earthers are saying, you know, they're everywhere. They're everywhere around the world.
Around the globe.
Think about it. You'll catch up soon, honestly. But in the meantime, today, of course, Chris Catena, he's been in the industry since he was bottle-fed music. Literally, he is a consummate professional. And, well, as an engineer, I was just saying to him minutes ago that I can't fault his work. So, Chris, tell me a little bit about your recording history. Where do you get most of your work done today? Give us a plug for your recording studio.
Well, I don't have my own recording studio. I started to record album. The very first album I recorded, it was in 1988. And I was a little child, you know. I was the singer of a band where my brother was the drummer. And we had this record deal for a heavy metal album. But of course, you know the stories. Italy, until the 90s, probably 2000, had a very not such unlucky story about bands, you know. So the owner of the record label had to disappear because he had many debits around. And so we had our master finished, and when the album was ready to be printed, we had no record deal anymore. Then after I I have been still for a long time because I decided to study at the university and do my own stuff with schools. And in 2004, I recorded my very first solo album, Freak Out. It was a very successful album, and in Japan, it was released by a major label, Crown. In all over the world, it was released by Frontiers. And in the album features many big stars, from John Taylor, bass player of Duran Duran, till Tommy Aldridge or Eric Singer. Tommy Aldridge from Whitesnake, Eric Singer from Kiss, Bruce Kulick from Kiss, and many big names. And after this, I joined a band called Pavic, and we did a couple of albums. Then I had some other projects, and my second album was released in 2009. It was a concept space hard rock album called Discovery. Then after this, I did what have I done? I did probably this was Rock City Tribe. This was my third album, but in the meantime, I had other bands. I joined the Rovescio della Medaglia, famous progressive band of the 70s, and we did an album. I did several things, always active.
You know,
And I've been, of course, recording all over the world in many studios. The last album I did was recorded in several studios, from Memphis to Nashville to LA to Rome, Milano, and several other places.
absolutely. I get that. I really do. Now, the reason I asked you, Chris, about how it was going over where you are with the coronavirus right now, you'd have an understanding right now that New Zealand here...
Yes, that is not, it's not. I don't have a good audio on my phone. You know?
Okay, well, the reason I was asking you how the coronavirus was going where you were is, well, here in New Zealand right now, we're in level 2 lockdown, but we're pretty much getting everybody vaccinated, almost there, almost everybody done, with the idea of opening our borders and getting tourism and business back up and running again.
Yeah.
Which basically means, would you, once we got our borders open again, would you consider maybe coming to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand audiences?
I said to Barbara today, it would be a huge pleasure for me to come to New Zealand. First of all, because I'm in love with very mysterious places, like it could be New Zealand, that is on the other side of the world, you know, for me. So, and I've never been, one of my dream and my plans for the future is to go to Australia and New Zealand, because they are very far, you know. Even if I've been all over the world, but I miss a couple of 2 or 3 places that would be very, very charming for me to visit. And why not to visit the place at the same time to perform?
Exactly. And I tell you, Chris, here's a thought. If you would like to go to Australia as well, why not put a couple of our friends with you? We'll make a really big deal of this. You're familiar with AC/DC, right?
Of course I am.
Okay, well,
I have a song that I still have to release with drummer Simon Wright that has been playing with AC/DC for a good amount of time.
Okay, well, the former drummer Philip Rudd lives about an hour and a half away from where we are right now. We're very good friends. But moreover, another good friend of mine, the founder and first singer of AC/DC, Dave Evans, being an Australian resident as well. Why not team you up, maybe even Delacoma, who was Australian as well?
Tell him that I contact him and we record a duet.
There you
It
go.
would be nice.
I'll get Barbara to introduce you. How's that sound?
It would be amazing. I mean, I'm in love with anything that comes from the 70s, the 80s. This is my age, you know.
Well,
Not my age.
here's
The great age of rock and roll. I mean,
here's,
70s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
here's another one for you then, okay, if you're into that kind of deal. I got another friend of mine from the band Autograph. You remember Turn Up the Radio?
I am in love with Autograph. I have all the albums of Autographs.
Okay, well, Steve Lynch is the former lead guitarist, is one of the founders of the band. What say we team you up? We'll make a whole band out of legends. What do you reckon?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Exactly. And then I might even introduce you to another couple of bands I know.
Yeah, he's
Imposter.
Donnie Coulter says, good day, friends. Good morning, Donnie. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have you back again. Steve Admiral was watching. Steve, it's been a dog's age since we caught up. Bound to have a chat soon. What do you reckon? Bring us some new music. Let's catch up, my friend. I would love to find out what you're up to. But in the meantime, my friend, let's go with the Trickster. Now, I want to talk to you about this because, and believe me, this is in the bio, right? It is in the bio. And I'll tell you why I'm pointing this out is, and this is Chris's comments on the new single. The Trickster is a song that describes an individual, a shady character who deceives others without even realizing it, with very reassuring face, a lot of self-confidence, and an unparalleled presumption. Above all, a great imagination. Chris, I think you're talking about me.
No. No. Believe me, for me, the Trickster is a man that me and all the musicians in Europe, but even probably in USA or any other part of the world, know very well. I don't want to describe, I mean, I don't want to go into too much details, but he's a guy that all the musicians in the hard rock scene met at least once, and each one of us know very well. So among us, we know who we are talking about. Believe me, and it's not you. You are too sweet to be here.
Well, Chris, when you come to New Zealand, I got to warn you, we're kind of crazy here. Okay, so we're up to shenanigans. We like to have a lot of fun, and you're going to enjoy yourself here. Jill Klein, I saw that bio. That's not a little bio, my friend. That is a book now, really. And thank you for making fun of me at the start of that. Love it, love it, love it. I really do. Good on you, bro. And good bio, too. John Rawlins is watching as well. Nice to have you on board, John. Now, let's get into it. And believe me, my friend, we have 1,171 requests for the Trickster to date and climbing. Well done. That's incredible. It really is. You're right here at Galaxy with Chris Catena from Chris Catena's Rock City Tribe and the Trickster. Gosh, it's hot in here.
So I'm going to introduce them to Dave Evans and Delacoma.
Good.
How
good.
many guys have there?
How many, sorry?
How many degrees? How many?
16 degrees Celsius.
Okay, Celsius. Okay.
Yep. Do you do it in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Okay. Because for everybody on the other side of the world, that's roughly about 58 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Something like it. My equations may be a little bit off, but that's not bad. It's not bad. It's close. Chris, we would love to have you here in New Zealand. We would. Barbara says she's going to introduce you to Dave Evans and Delacoma as well.
Steve Lynch.
And Steve Lynch as well. But at the same time, I would love to introduce you to a couple of friends of mine. One coming out of Norway. His name is Gear. His name is Gear. He's with a band. He manages a band called Viking
I think
Queen.
he's already a friend of Chris's.
Uh-huh.
I think he might.
He actually wrote the score for the New Zealand movie Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
having said that, Peter Jackson is actually a friend of mine.
I'll
so.
just do a group. I'll just
He's
do a group thing, but I'll do
Yeah.
Dave and Delacoma separately. But for
Exactly.
Tim and Gear and
Exactly.
York,
Yep.
I will just do one.
Yep. And there's another band coming out of Canada called The Mighty One, and we would like to introduce you to Tim as well. Believe me,
We're
bro,
planning on a world tour, I think.
we're
different
planning a
places,
world tour, and we would
So
love to have
names.
you included, bro. You know what I mean?
Germany, Italy,
It's a bit
Canada,
complicated, but,
Norway,
You know,
USA.
to move and do concerts is what I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
So
We
it
need
has
to
to
look
happen
forward.
ways, you know.
Yeah, we need to get past this and
Oh,
look forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I was really blessed to have this gig in Romania now that it was a huge stage, 25,000 people, even 30,000 probably.
I saw that. I was watching that. That's fantastic. It really, really is. And that's
It was.
that's the type of arena that we want to get back to here in New Zealand.
Well-
Barbara has a company that she manages called Aurora Entertainments, which brings bands into the country. She does the logistics, everything from your hotels, motels, your travel, your food, everything you want. She takes care of it right down to the engineers, the staging, you name it. And
Yes.
she goes through everybody's wish list and where they want their stage set and everything like that. Incredible. It really is. So,
But I didn't know that.
yeah, believe me, she's got some very famous people that want to come to New Zealand and perform. And
Well, I'm sure. First of all, as I told you, is a particular. I see only documentaries about it.
nice. Well, let's go back to the desk. Next one up, my bro, is the Kiss cover Hard Luck Woman. Jorg was asking where exactly in Romania was it? Was it the Rockstart Extreme Fest?
No, it was a Romanian Artists Awards. So they gave the prize to the best Romanian artists, and I was there like a special guest. And I played a freight train with the orchestra and my band. So it was fantastic because I said to my friends, I said, Metallica decided to go with orchestra after 30 years. I did it immediately. I mean, as soon as I got the new band, I went with orchestra. Well, it was fun. I'm not Metallica, of course, but when you have the chance to play with an orchestra, it's such a great feeling, you know.
Well, I can tell you that I've actually worked with Metallica in the past myself. Played basketball with Lars.
Wow.
Yeah, really have.
Great.
Of course, York says Bucharest. Okay, all right, Bucharest. Donna Coulter, Barb's the girl. There you go, Barb, you're the girl. You are. And by the way, Barb, I don't want to call you Barb.
No.
Barbara, I got to commend you this morning. You're absolutely looking rock star.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm talking to a rock star.
Yeah, you dressed for the occasion. There you go. Talking to a rock star. Now, talking of a rock star, and I've got to be honest with you, my friend, I actually did engineer Kiss back in the day at the Super Top in Mount Smart in Auckland. They were fantastic. They really, really were. And I loved Hard Luck Woman performed live. Now, you did a version of it. Why did you do this version?
I found a woman.
Hard Luck Woman.
Hard luck. Okay, sorry. Well, you know what? It was. I was doing nothing, and I said, during, as I told you, it took me 10 years to record my new album. So I said, what can I do now? Because I'm getting bored. Let me go into the studio and do some covers. That I know that covers people probably can annoy people, but in my case, since I'm a creative guy, I don't care. I first care about how do I feel doing covers. So I went to the studio and I started to record a few versions of famous covers. And you know, in other situation, probably would have never been choosing Hard Luck Woman from Kiss. I would have been choosing some other songs from Kiss, probably heavier. But this, since I wanted to have to do a country version of a Kiss song, I thought that this song that Paul Stanley said that he wrote for Rod Stewart, but Rod Stewart rejected, could have been a very good country rock song. So I said, well, let's add some slides, some pedal steel, and see how it works. And I think it worked really well. So it was included in Kiss book, in a compilation that is attached to a Kiss book of a writer here in Italy. So in the end, it worked. It had even some kind of good. It was well welcomed by people, by Kiss fans, and I'm happy I did in the end.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Chris, 1,399 requests for this track, which is absolutely fantastic. And Gene Simmons and I met up with each other after the show in the green room, and he said to me, Grant, I have met the second longest tongue in the world, literally. And I'll explain that one to you later. But in the meantime, here is Chris Catena's version of Kiss's Hard Luck Woman. Chris, I got a fairly long tongue, and after we do this interview, we'll take a few photos, crazy photos that we will send to you. You'll get a copy of everything we do, you will, and we'll do some crazy photos afterwards. And I've got a long tongue, and Gene Simmons said to me, now I have met the second longest tongue in the world. And I said,
Wow.
I said, Gene, I still can't lick my eyebrows like you, bro.
And how it was? When it was?
This was years ago, literally, maybe about 15 years ago. And this was in a big tent that we used to have concerts in. Get about 15, 20,000 people in the tent. Big tent.
Wow.
York wants to have a look.
My
I
favorite
want you to
band.
show everyone your tongue. You have a look, let's look.
York, I can poke my tongue out and touch my nose. I actually can touch my nose with my tongue too, I can. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Donnie, see you later. Back to recording. Have a great show. Covers are cool. Yes, bro, I agree with you, Donnie. When can you make them your own compromising originals? Pictures of Matchstick Men. He wants to, Donnie is an artist as well. He was just wondering if you'd do a cover of Pictures of Matchstick Men.
Well, you know what?
Status Quo.
I song from Status Quo.
Now, don't forget the drummer passed away over the weekend.
Just heard about, but it's a mess because all the best are going, But I'm sure they are departing for the big planet of rock and roll because that should be. I mean.
Yep.
Are all gone. My God.
It's true, and
it's one of my favorites from Status Quo. Do you know that? Tell him about it.
Donnie, it's his favourite. There you go. He's already said it. But bro, you see, I'll never get into heaven simply because it's a gated community and I'm not worthy. Oh dear, oh dear. That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM. Nice to have everybody on board. And Donnie, sorry to see you leave, my friend, but I put the question to the man himself. You never know, he might actually do a copy of Matchstick Men. Of course, the drummer passed away of Status Quo over the weekend, didn't he? So shout out to the family and condolences, and our thoughts are with you. Now, having said that, Chris, it is an absolute pleasure to have you with us this morning. And over there, I know you're staying up late for this, and I really, really appreciate that, especially having to take your son to school a little later on. Believe me, have a V or a Red Bull. Keeps you going, it really does. And believe me, I start work about midnight, and I'm still here some nights, 8, 9 o'clock at night, so a Red Bull, wow, beauty. Or a Barocca. Do you have Barocca over there?
Vitamin C large.
It's a fizzy vitamin C pill that you put in water, and yeah, keeps you going, really does. Donnie said, what I said is what we covered. It was the creatures of condition. I got you, Donnie. Now I understand what you're saying. Donnie's done a copy of Matchstick Men. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, I was explaining to Chris that after we do this, we do some crazy photos that he can put on his cell phone and show his friends. You know, Kiwis, not healthy, don't do it, don't Kiwis, New Zealanders. But at the same time, Barbara will make this interview into a movie for you that we will give you a copy of as well. It'll also go up on YouTube if you want to go and have a look over there on YouTube. But Chris, we're also going to do something a little different. Maybe nobody's ever done this for you before, but we're going to turn this whole interview into a cartoon as well.
Can you? I'm sorry because this is a mess. So
it's
I'm
okay.
sorry to ask you to repeat the question.
Well, it's not a question. It's actually a statement that when we're going to turn the interview, once it's finished, we'll give you the original copy.
I understand all this part, yes.
Yep. Then we're going to turn it all into a cartoon.
Okay.
It's the cartoon is the one thing that makes me look good.
Yeah, okay, good. Got you.
I got a face for radio, I do. Now, Chris.
Yeah.
And I got to let you know, this morning, 75 countries around the world tuned into this interview, and believe me, I'm absolutely fascinated in having everybody around the world joining us this morning. It is an absolute pleasure to bring Chris Catena to the world, and today here at Galaxy, we've been playing it. I know we have, because 1,571 of you have been requesting it. Tell me about it. Oh, believe me, this is going through the roof, Chris. Tell me, what's the secret to your success with Freight Train? Tell me all about this.
Well, I don't know. It's still because, I mean, I don't know if it's a success, but you told me that many people are asking for to listen the song again and again. And this is something really nice because, you know, I formed this new band. I always had, for my albums, guest musicians, but I never had a real band. So I said to myself, well, you know, after the lockdown is finished, the very first thing I want to know is to do some calls and create my band with people I can, I can make a call and meet for a beer, not that are on the other side of the world. So after 10 years, I had a phone call with my former bass player. We had a fight, so for a long time we didn't talk to each other. But he sent me a letter. He wanted to chat. He wanted to reunite again. And you know, with COVID and all what happened, you know, I don't want to fight and have hard feelings with anybody. So I said to myself, let's give a try again, you know? So I said, well,
let's meet, let's have some kind of discussion. Let's try to ease our bad feelings, to heal our hard feelings, and let's see what comes up. And he said to myself, and I said to myself, well, now I have probably the key person that can help me to form a new band. And I said to him, his name is Marco. Marco, can you find me musicians? Because I think I'm a little out of the environment of the musicians here in my town, you know. He said, no problem, Chris. In 2 days, I had the band. 2 days, just 2 days, I had the full band. And so I did this new song. We went to the studio, we recorded it. And after 10 days, I had the video clip. We went to a ranch, we recorded. All was so fast and so incredibly spontaneous that I couldn't believe that the song could have been welcomed so well. I wrote the song with Ryan White Maloney, that is an American musician from Las Vegas. And I'm starting a cooperation with him about songwriting. And it's good because I'm entering into this kind of metal country rock, which I like a lot. I love Southern music, Southern rock. I love bands like the Eagles, but I even love bands of the new kind of country metal music that is coming out now. And so I try to mix the 70s, all my influences of the 70s, plus the new, this new trend of music, plus the traditional country. And I have a wonderful guitar player that plays pedal steel, lap steel, mandolin, banjo, whatever. He plays any kind of particular guitar and dobro. And I'm happy because we're riding. We have to do a streaming, a live streaming in the studio, and then we are planning our live activity for the next future. I have a new single coming out at Christmas, and then and probably, I don't know if it will be a full album, but for sure 7, 8 songs. Yes, it could be called a full album now. Or as we used to do in the 70s and the 60s, 7, 8 songs that last the entire LP. But I'm happy. I think it's gonna be a good band, and it's mixed women, men, so we have no problem. We are on the same level, men, women. No problem.
I get it. I really, really do. And Chris, it's climbing even as we speak. So right here at Galaxy is Chris Catena's most requested track. And it seems like I can't get through a breakfast show without playing it. Here's Freight Train. So we'll wrap it up after this. I do have a couple of fan questions for you before we do, but more importantly, after that we'll take some photos so that we can put them on Facebook, everything like that for you, bro.
Sorry, sometimes I don't understand you, but it's really hard to do an interview with a telephone, because usually I use the computer and I put headphones, and it's so easy. And this way, because I have even to keep the phone to a lower volume because my son is sleeping and it's the room beside this one.
I understand, I do, and I appreciate you.
No problem.
I really
it's my
do.
pleasure. I appreciate that you invited me for this interview. Believe me.
It's an absolute pleasure. It really is. But I will ask a couple of fan questions. I've been given those. So I'll get those out there, all right, before we go. Yep. Chris, are you still recording? Are you looking at releasing anything new in the future?
Yeah. As I told you, I'm recording the album. So I'm in the songwriting phase. So I already recorded 3 songs,
Good night,
but
you.
they are to be finished. Then I think they will finally be 8. Plus, I have 15 songs that have been they have been how to say. I had 30 songs full, mixed, mastered, but we have been selecting only 15
Sure.
for the album 13 Unity. So I still have these other 15 songs that I will use some ways
Nice.
because they are ready.
So will you come back again for another interview? Will you send us new music when you get it ready?
Of course, if you invite me, I'm here. I'm happy to do that.
Very, very cool. By the way, your client who was watching, he's gone to bed now, coming out of Germany. He has a TV podcast, and I would like to introduce you to him and get you on his show as well, if that's okay with you.
Really awesome. Yes.
And at the same time, I would like you to use the Galaxy artist page.
Yeah, he has.
Because it's free. It's about promoting you, bro, and believe me, we want to get behind you.
Times I did.
Nice.
Then, since it's not a real-time thing, I post something that probably I forget because it has to be approved. Then when I've been notified, I go there and I see what was published,
Very cool. Very cool. Does Chris know Jay?
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Okay, all right. Because believe me, bro, I've got something you may be very interested in. I have a friend of mine that has a magazine in India where he is about 8 million people, and I'm pretty sure he knows each and every one of them. But we do an article in there, and I would like to be able to put you in it if that's okay.
Oh, well, in India?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's worldwide, literally. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It's 7 minutes after lunchtime, noon here in Galaxy, and 15 degrees, so I'm a little worried about that, I've got to be honest. Monday, September 27th, and believe me, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with Chris Catena coming out of Italy. Now, Chris, I do have a fan question for you. Do you have a website where we can purchase merchandise?
I don't because I originally had a website, but then when I saw that people were more interested to have some kind of a more direct relationship through Facebook and the socials, I did the artist page, but then I don't know why I'm still promoting the private profile. So I have to do something about it. But with COVID, when the new album was released, I couldn't because from the house it's not easy to work on promotional stuff. But now that I'm again active, I'm going to do something. But for now, they can use the Facebook artist page or my Facebook profile. This is or Instagram. For now. Then let's see in the near future.
Now, at the same time, Chris, do you have, and I'm going to be right to the point here, do you have a T-shirt with your logo on it that maybe you could send to me? Because, today, earlier on this morning, we caught up with Chris Andreas coming out of British Columbia, and people go and have a look.
I promise to you the next month I'm going to print some T-shirts because now you gave me the idea and I have to respect it. I will gonna
I'm going to print some T-shirts and I send you a couple. Okay?
Very cool. And I tell you what I will do, is I'll get Barbara to send you all the details, literally, you know, where to send it, the sizes, stuff like that. And Chris, I'd be honoured to be able to wear your brand while I'm doing interviews, because believe me, they go and look and find out who you are, and before you know it, you got another 5,000 Facebook fans. You know what I mean?
You know something? That you didn't tell me this, but I already did. I went to check who was this Chris Andres because I got curious from your T-shirt, you know. So I don't know how marketing goes, and I respect that. Yes, I have definitely to do that.
You see, it works. It works. It really does.
Sent him a photo.
Anyway, my friend, don't go anywhere just yet. But I do have to thank you so much for staying up so late to talk to us here in New Zealand, and everybody else that's joined us on Facebook Live, and for those of you that are going to watch later on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us here at Galaxy. Look forward to seeing you again in the near future, and believe me, we've got some talent coming up. Not only do we have history-making talent like Chris Catena, but believe me, you're going to love bands coming in the future. But in the meantime, have a very happy and successful day. You're right here at Galaxy. In the meantime, let's go out with Tommy T. One more try.